Sip. Good.
What did it look like today?
Really good practice. I was excited. I think guys are focused, and it was a good start to the week.
Have you seen a lot of change year over year with the scheme for Ohio State with the new coach?
Well, I mean, for me, really the first time I was playing with them playing against them was last year. A lot of similarities. I think they've added a few new wrinkles, kind of some NFL concepts, honestly, some under center stuff that's been really good. But they're a really efficient offense. It's a smart offense, very similar to what we do, honestly, in that they use pre-snap disguises really well. They use tempo really well, and they're very balanced. So it's a really good offense.
Were there similarities between Justin Fields and Adrian Martinez when you think back to working against the ones in fall camp?
They're both really talented, really good players. He is as advertised. You never know when somebody transfers for whatever the reason, but number one, it shows you that kid down in Georgia is a pretty good player because for the first few games this year, I mean, he's been outstanding for Ohio State. So can run it, can throw it, doesn't turn the ball over. He's been really solid this year.
Different level than what you've seen through the first 4 weeks in terms of his threat to move?
As far as Fields,
yeah,
it's a different level in every aspect. Yeah, so it's a different animal when you're playing Ohio State. So it's as good of an offense as there is in the country, and it's going to be a really good challenge for us.
How much can crowd noise and atmosphere help your defense out, knowing that this team hasn't really faced that yet in the season?
I think crowd energy is always a benefit for the defense, more so for the offense. I mean, the harder it is for an offense to communicate, the better it is for a defense. And, that also reemphasizes how well we have to communicate because we want it to be as loud as possible, and we want to handle those issues with us communicating because it is harder for an offense. So we're looking forward to that.
Hey, Barrett, from a layman's perspective, it looks like your top three guys it looks to me like they're pretty even. Mm-hmm. Is that how it is, like when you grade it out?
Yeah, it really is. Those guys are, in my mind, I don't have starters. I got three guys that are playing pretty high-level football, and it's sort of like, when you see guys compare it to when James Harden was a sixth man for Oklahoma City. Somebody's got to come out and be the sixth man. So Will's got that role right now, but if you saw the last game to the last drive, Will was out there. So, and that was just because that's what the rotation was. And my goal is that it keeps those guys fresh, and it keeps them playing fast, and it keeps them on their toes as well.
Has it worked to that, where they've been fresh and been able to go through practice for the most part?
Let's knock real hard on that. But, yeah, they've been healthy. And, in defensive football this day and age, it's hard to play two guys at linebacker because it's not 55 or 60 snaps a game anymore. It's closer to 85, 90. So you got to have guys that can roll through. And the fresher they are, the harder they can play, and usually the better the results.
Is this in 4 games like what you expected from Will and Colin? Or have they moved to even another level?
No, I mean, I have high expectations. We're far from a finished product, I think. But what I am happy with is how hard those guys work. They haven't had a day where I've had to tell them to get going a little bit. They're dialed in, and they like the work week as much as game day, which is what I was wanting.
Have you noticed the guys this week? I mean, just feel the week is bigger in general, just knowing what's at stake and college game day coming to town?
Well, I think everybody around Nebraska knows it's a different week. I think one of the goals we have as coaches is to make this week the same for everybody else. It is a different week, but I've always believed you can't cheat the game. You have to prepare the same way every week. You don't just magically prepare harder and play better one week. Your habits carry over, and if you don't have good habits by now, you won't find them for Ohio State. So we're just trying to keep building on the habits that have already been put in place, and hopefully they just carry over.
Hey, Barrett, the game I saw Ohio State play was against Indiana, and they went to Dobbins on first down, it seemed like almost every time in the first half. Is that what you're expecting?
Well, they're pretty balanced now, Sip, but he's a good back, man. He's about as good as there's going to be in the country. What they do a nice job of is they change up the look all the time on. They're going to give you stretch this play, they go play action next play, they go bootlegs, they go drop back. I mean, they got every play in the book. So it's a really it's a good challenge for our guys. Our guys' eyes got to be really good, and then when it's time to tackle a good running back, you got to be able to tackle.
You had some breakdowns early against Illinois, but kind of tightened up late. How do you feel about kind of the state of your run defense heading into this test?
Yeah, we can't afford breakdowns this week. I think we were able to overcome that and win in spite of those breakdowns, but you can't give good teams explosive plays, and you got to make them earn every yard they get. It's hard enough to stop really good offenses, and when you give them stuff, it really gets hard. So they got to hopefully they earn everything they get this game.
You talked about Dobbins. What's Teague look like to you, that number 2?
Another good back. I mean, there won't be any bad football players for Ohio State that trot out there. So
Right.
we got a good challenge, and it's at every position. They got really good tight ends. They got a deep group of receivers. Mm-hmm. The quarterback obviously is outstanding, and then the running backs they can roll through them. So there's a bunch of good players going to trot out there Saturday.
How much did last year's game just help you guys a little bit? Because before you guys last year, I mean, Ohio State with Urban Meyer had beaten Nebraska by 50 points every time. I mean, did that get guys' attention and make them realize it's?
I think it was good for our guys to see that if you prepare the right way, good results happen. Now that being said, we still did a lot of things to hurt ourselves that game too. And the biggest thing when you play a good team is you can't beat yourself. You got to make good teams beat you, and that's one of the deals going in is we got to make sure we play our football and make sure that Ohio State, if they get anything, they got to earn it.
How's the development been for the guys behind your top 3?
It's been good. It's they haven't got a ton of opportunities on game days to get a lot of reps, but we make it a point that they're doing individual with us. They're doing reps in practice, so. It's tougher when you don't get a ton of game reps to really develop, but we're trying as much as we can to get that work in during practice, so if the time comes where they got to go play, they're ready.
What's the balance like for you guys as coaches this weekend? Obviously the game, but then the big recruiting weekend. How do you guys balance?
You don't sleep anymore, and then I got 2 little kids at home too, so I really don't sleep. So that's pretty much how I balance it. Is I sleep like 3 hours a night. No, it's not a magic formula. It's more work, but it's good work because we have a lot of good players coming in that we really like, want to be a part of our program, and I can suck it up and not sleep very much for a couple of days. That's it.